いきなりムービーに入るのだ。
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on. I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Yuja, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Yuja, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Yusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN.
今度はエルジア側
Osea
の放
launched
送
an
なの
attack on
だ。
the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. It was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world.
ちょっと傲慢な考えなの
They
だ。
even tried saving the Yusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Yuja, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone.
自信があったみたいなのだ。
The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day.
今の技術でもできるか
Pinpoint
どうか。
accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa consent to lease of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking. Tragic.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats. And the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard.
基地
This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane.
やったやん
They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out. And set the dogs on me.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Yuzian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east.
ピンチってことなのだ
Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
"わからない人向けに説明すると、ここでできるのは新しい機体、その機体の特殊兵装、そしてパーツの解放なのだ。詳しいことは省くけど、パーツにもいろいろ効果があるから、そのミッションに合わせたパーツをつけるとミッションをスムーズに進められるのだ。ってことで少し見ていくけど、このパーツは最初から持ってたか、次はどうしようかな。できれば MRP は取っておきたいけど、ファイティングファルコンの GBP くらいならいいんじゃないのだ。じゃあ何もしないで。おいこら。じゃあパーツつけて、できろ。
Mage Squadron, sortie, ASAP. Target is on range. There's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
Land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close. It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun. Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Can't wait any longer. We need interceptors now.
targets too.
公共基準だからしたい。これはひどい。さて、これで全てのターゲットを破壊しましたね。じゃあ、引き叩きますか。
つくなのだ。
一番手につけ。
クソムカつくのだ。
Radar vehicle's destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out.
よし、落としますか。
言われる前からすでにやってるのだ。
Crush as many as you can. Mage 2, missile away.
この一撃なんか。
ちなみにこの爆発の正体は後にわかるのだ。
そういう表記を始末しました。さて、クラウン君が疑問を抱いているところで迎撃機を落としに行きましょう。あ、一発外した。
旋回して潰すのだ。
処理完了し
3
た。
targets
この
remaining.
調子で他の機も落とすのだ。
見つけたぞ。まずは当てる気の前に配慮を開始します。そしてそのまま後ろに回り込み、ロックオンをしたら敵の軌道を予測し、ミサイルを発射してデッドポイント。
見事なのだ。
とここでイベント発生ですね。さて、今度こそネームが来るかな。
映してなかったけど最初にいきなり壊してたのだ。
あれがネームたちの出現条件だからね。現代の技術から見てもすごい技術だと思うこれ。さて、ネームたちは。
Multiple bogeys on radar. They're
いない
close.
ですね。
ってことはネームたちは2周目以降の X からコンテンツってことなのか。
Engage.
まあ出ないものは仕方ないのだ。
それじゃ、無人機を落としますか。無人機の魅力は何より機動力ですよね。
無人だから G をかけ放題なのだ。
もちろんここのミッションに出る無人機もその例にも出ません。すばしっこく、ミサイルが当たりづらいです。ですが、ここの無人機は初めての無人機ということもあってか、かなり軌道が甘いことを許しておきましょう。後半、これの日じゃない軌道を取ってくる役ユニット、ハイジーターマークコンです。しっかり覚えておきましょう。
相手の軌道を見てミサイルを撃てば当たるのだ。
脳幹のミリクヒンけどそれけどね。
そんなことを話してるうちに息がきつい。この調子で残りも片付けるのだ。
さっきから思ってたけどなんか君バーサーカーとかしてない。一応やってるのは私だけども。
3 enemies to go.
I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
残り道、背中についてミサイルを放ちます。
You have a device formation in the clouds.
ミスなのだ。切れないで。外れなのだ。
頼むから当たってくれ。
Feels like I'm riding a roller coaster.
撃墜を確
One to
認。
go.
さあ残り1
This
が。
without any
正
casualties.
面から来るのだ。
ヘッドじゃないけど。マストか。さっきほどじゃなかったけどやったーぜいなこいつは。
ずっと雲の中を飛ばれていたのも当たらなかった原因
Enemy
なのだ。
aircraft
さて、
confirmed
これ
down.
見てミッションクリアですね。
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone.
あ
Mission
んた先輩
complete.
君たちだよ。
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
あ、やっ
You
とクラウン
shoot,
出して
someone
くれた。
gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
他もようやく続いてきてくれたのだ。
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
とここで次回は制空戦になります。
それでは次回をお楽しみに。なのだ。